All right. So how do we start the video? I don't even know how we start the video. What do you think? How do we start?
Yeah, damn, how do we start?
You guys already see like the background footage, like we're gonna talk about this match first, you know what I mean? But like
yeah.
We haven't even played an intro. It's been a little while since we've recorded a podcast. I mean, the last time we even recorded anything was I think we did do something on March 6th. Yeah, we did do a podcast on March 6th.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been almost a month. Almost a month, guys. What's the word? I mean, you guys probably didn't notice a difference. All two of you.
Yep, that's real.
We appreciate you being here regardless. We are
Indeed.
here today to talk about the WrestleMania matches, confirmed and unconfirmed. We got a whole lot coming up and a whole lot of excitement. First of all, let's just talk about the overall build-up to WrestleMania 41. How are we feeling? How is that card looking in your eyes? Talk to me.
I think I've been liking the build to WrestleMania. People have been shitting on it, saying that this build has been underwhelming. But, like, I think most people were expecting a build like last year's.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like last year was also the biggest WrestleMania of all time.
Yeah.
And it was also the beginning of a new era for the company. Whereas this WrestleMania just kind of feels like another chapter in this current era that we're in. It doesn't feel like anything revolutionary. But that's okay. I don't think it needs to be. I've been liking the build. I like the matches that we're getting so far. I'm excited. I'm excited for WrestleMania.
I hear you. I appreciate that. Well, first of all, I just want to add that this is definitely not an underwhelming build at all. The fact that people just compare it to WrestleMania 40 is like, let me bring something up to you guys, okay? One thing that I've noticed, especially with a lot of WWE fans, is that they will complain about something, and then the next week... Not because the WWE universe listened, but because they were just going to head in that direction anyway. The problem is fixed. You know what I mean? Because they just haven't waited. For example, John Cena's cutting a lot of promos to the crowd. When is he going to talk to Cody? Isn't he fighting at Mania? Right now, it's just Cena versus the crowd. And then next week, what do we get? You know what I mean?
Exactly,
we get Cena versus Cody in a war of words, and then a finisher on Cody's behalf. Like, it's just something to where like people just aren't patient. You know what I mean? They expect everything to be like what I think what a lot of people think is that all the words are going to be said in one promo, in one show, and then everything afterwards is just meant to be like the violence is meant to upscale. But that's not how every feud works. And this one in particular, it can't be how that works because of the fact that you have John Cena, who is the best on the mic there, going up against the biggest in the company, who's also pretty decent on the mic. You know what I mean? So... What's the word? When it comes to something like this high profile, you really just got to sell it by, well, of course, having Cena being the big heel and him just going off on not only the fans, making himself actually the enemy. I mean, let me tell you something. It's really hard to hate John. And you know how I know that? Because every single individual in that arena will start cheering for John for a split second, and then they realize he's a heel. And then they go for the boo. It's not automatic. It's been, 20 years? 20 fucking years of just nonstop cheering that guy every time that music came on, you know? And so now, all of a sudden, that he's the heel, you have to make the audience feel that. How do you make the audience feel that? You're going to give him two uninterrupted promos. Well, I kind of interrupted, right? But really, he got interrupted at the end of it.
Exactly.
Right, or story. Uninterrupted promos is just solid 15 minutes of him just going in on all of the WWE fans. That's how you start it, because you need to make the heel run believable. So you give him a mic in 15 minutes. I said it. I said it back in the beginning of March. It's like all they need to do is give him John Cena 20 minutes and a microphone with a spotlight. And that's exactly what they did. You know what I mean? So what's the word? It's a solid build-up so far for the main event. When it comes to the other events, like we're talking about, what's the word? We're talking about Jey Uso versus Gunther. We're talking about the female triple threat, Ripley, Io, Bianca. When we're talking about Roman, Seth, and CM Punk, like we are getting some great promos, some great little bits, great scenes. Overall, we're getting some strong fucking build-up, you know? And while it is not WrestleMania 40 level in terms of scale for the main event, then you have to think about it like this. When is that ever going to happen again? You know? You know, it's like it really is something where they can't outperform themselves every year in terms of scale of main events. So instead, they just upped the mid card and all the other small title matches. You know, we have some really, really good matches happening this year. You know,
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, you know, people saying that it's underwhelming, I just think, what's the word? I just think that their expectations are just way too high. I mean, your expectations should be high, right? You're a customer, but like,
Yeah, I mean,
let's
WrestleMania.
let's be reasonable, guys. It's like this is really good stuff that they're putting out. They're putting out great stuff, and the fact that you guys found it underwhelming, it just kind of tells me that like y'all just aren't seasoned. You know what I mean? Y'all aren't really. You haven't really been watching the product. This is new. You know what I mean? That's all it is. So I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. It's what it is. That's what I feel. How do you feel?
Yeah, no, I'm just really liking the build up for WrestleMania. Like, I don't think this WrestleMania needs any crazy legends or like big surprises for the audience. Like, we just have a talented roster. Just put them on the show, and that's what they're doing this year. They're just getting the best talents that they have, putting them in matches together, some dream matches, and just letting them go. And I'm excited to see it.
Well, I think that these matches are going to be given a lot of room to marinate. You know what I mean? Because you have a lot. What's the word? Like, for example, I know right now Randy Orton and Kevin Owens are going crazy on their choreography, making sure that this is all rehearsed really well. I know that's going to be a great match. You know, I know that Gunther is like real. I know that Gunther and Jey Uso are like hammering away at that match, making sure that that one's going to be a good crowd pleaser. Like, I noticed that with the change of regime, that everything has been a lot more well rehearsed, a lot more well planned, a lot more well paced, and that's because it seems like they're giving a whole lot more time to prepare, unlike under the Vince McMahon era where everything was really last second. You know what I mean? So I mean, that still happens in WWE every now and again. That's bound to happen when you have countless live shows, you know, but for something like this, something this big, you really want to have a lot of it scouted already, you know. And so well, I really do feel that like things go to according to plan when we're watching these big PLEs, and with last year's WrestleMania, I felt that way as well. It's like this feels very well rehearsed. The matches here are really solid, except the Usos, but you know, it's still overall really good shit. You know, what's the
great
word?
Storylines, great talent,
right?
Everything's just falling into place for WrestleMania so far. I'm excited.
I said it once, I said it a million times. WWE is in the best place it's ever been. You know what I mean? And that's not even close to debatable. You know, it's just what it is. So with that being said, just in case you guys haven't seen the show before, I'm Big Time. That's Squeedo, and we are the Big Squeed Podcast. We talk about things like wrestling, gaming, movies, all that stuff. Today, the topic is WrestleMania, not just any kind of WrestleMania. The kind of WrestleMania that changes lives, that breaks records. We're talking about WrestleMania 41, baby. The weekend. Yes, sir. He keeps his streak. They changed the soundtrack last second. What's going on, Travis Scott? What did you do? I think he sprayed a little too much sage. Maybe he forgot. I don't know what happened.
I think he hit Cody too hard, and Cody was like, nah, change that shit.
Real. Let me tell you something, all right? Cody is the culture, all right? So if the culture saying Travis ain't it, that's it. All right, change that shit to the weekend. Shoot. And that's the truth. WrestleMania 41 has some bangers on it, man. Some crazy good fucking matches. One of the first matches we're going to talk about tonight is one that I am extremely excited for. Yeah. And that's Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Dude, Kevin has been putting out bangers, bro. Oh, my God. The one he had with Cody Rhodes at that ladder match was just nothing but special. And Cody Rhodes was taking fucking cement ladder bumps. Bro is the world champion, and he's still taking those bumps. How does that work? You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, my God.
He doesn't need to do all that.
Kevin was just going ham that match, and then I'm thinking Kevin versus Sammy. It's going to be all right. You know, I don't think they're going to outmatch the Cody one because the Cody one was good. Bro, they shut me the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Match of the night.
Kevin and Sammy stole the night. Oh, my God. Yeah. They killed each other in there. You know how I know it's a good match? Because I thought it was over like 6 times throughout. And guess what? By the third, fourth time, I was like, just end it already, please. You know what I mean? Y'all are y'all are killing each other. They were killing each other so much that they started hesitating before doing big moves. Because it's like, guys, relax. Remember when Sami Zayn was
tomorrow? Yeah,
right? Jesus. Remember when Sami Zayn was just standing there for fucking 40 seconds before he finally went up to Kevin and suplexed him? What? Usually I would criticize that. Oh, that's amateurish. That looks fake. But here it's like, shit. You can't. You're human, dude. What do I expect? You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh my God. They were just killing each other that entire match. And the fact that there was no blood, that really surprised me. You know?
Oh, yeah. But I for sure thought someone was going to get busted open. Sammy. I thought Sammy was going to get busted open.
I thought Kevin was going to go because he hit his head on that barbed wire, but I guess not, you know?
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
It's just weird. Yeah, what can you do?
Yeah. But, I'm looking forward to Randy versus Kevin Owens because this is a match that's been building for a while.
Uh-huh.
Like, when did Randy get injured?
Oh, a while back. Like, it was before. It was back when so Kevin Owens hurt Randy Orton.
He turned heel at Bad Blood.
Right. And Kevin Owens hurt Randy Orton before going after Cody. Like, Cody was the final step in there. So it was before Royal Rumble. So it was definitely last year. I'm not sure exactly when, but definitely last year.
Yeah, same.
This
has been building.
Yeah, for a while. And now that RKO is finally back, and now that Randy Orton, I mean, the best way to intro him was to come in to save Sammy's ass at the end of that extremely long and grueling match. I mean, that immediately shows, like, okay, which side of the spectrum we're on. We're happy Randy's back, but Randy's also like a savior. You know, all of that. It was just, once again, it's just a crazy good way for WWE to bring back somebody. A nice little segue. You don't expect it. You expect Kevin to fucking kill him. You know what I mean? Like, right then and there, you know? Yeah. Like, okay, Sammy's going to be out of action for a while, I guess, you know? Just really solid fucking intro. And the fact that Randy is now going up against KO at WrestleMania, I do not see KO disappointing. I really think he's trying to go for the three-peat, you know what I mean? And I know Randy, that crazy bastard, I know he's down for whatever. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. But I feel like if anybody can get a good match out of these two, it's these two. So
yeah. And I mean, they had a great match last year as well. The triple threat with Logan Paul.
Yep.
Like that was a fun match to
That
watch.
was a fun match.
And the fact that, they were both faces going into that, and now they're against each other with Kevin being heel. It's just good storytelling.
Oh, man. I love seeing that look in Kevin's eyes when he's about to do something dastardly. Like, he's a monster in there, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, I know it's going to be nothing but peak entertainment, and you're going to be concerned for both of their safety the entire match. That's what we need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
They have yet to confirm if it's going to be a no DQ match.
It's gotta be.
It absolutely should be.
It's gotta be something where there's a stipulation, you know? Like, they gotta kill each other in there. It ain't a little, 1, 2, 3, disqualification. No. They gotta go ham. You know what I mean? So let's hope.
What I'd really love is if, like, they started fighting each other during the entrance, and they were just fighting outside the ring the whole time in the crowd, and the belt doesn't ring until, like, the last 5 minutes
that takes
of, like, them beating each other up.
I'm okay with it. Let's do it. You know? I just want some craziness. I want some carnage. I want Kevin through a table. I want Randy through a table. I want that back to be in shambles. You know what I mean? Like, let's go. All right, that's it. And then Randy can take a 60 months off. I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he can do whatever.
Now, when it comes to who wins, what do you think?
It's got to be Kevin Owens.
Yeah, it has to be. Listen, I love Randy Orton, don't get me wrong, but let's think about it. How do we legitimize Kevin Owens as like a solid, like dangerous individual? He destroyed Sami Zayn, and Cody he wasn't able to defeat, but that's because he's Cody fucking Rhodes, you know? So like now it's like he's beaten Sami. I think it's best if he beats Randy Orton, because then now you have another top heel. If Randy Orton beats him, then you just have another stifled heel, and he's back to the mid card. It's like Kevin Owens is able to be a main event heel, of course.
For sure, yeah.
So what's the word? So if they do pull the trigger on Kevin and he becomes the winner, once again, props to WWE. If they have Randy win, it's because they want to do another match. All right, that's it. It can't be the end.
That's true, yeah.
It can't be the end.
I mean, I'd be fine with either of them winning, but I think KO definitely needs to win more than Randy.
Absolutely.
Randy at this point doesn't need any more wins under his belt. Right. We just love him.
Right, of course. We just want to see him. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, final answer, KO for the win.
Kevin Owens.
Next up on the list, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman. This one's unconfirmed, right?
Yeah, unconfirmed, but kind of rumored. We don't know what they're going to do with the US title, but it seems based on the previous SmackDown that this might be what's happening. Jacob Fatu, Braun Strowman, LA Knight.
All I'm saying is that would be pretty peak. And listen, I love you, LA Knight, but Jacob's got to take that title. I don't give a fuck. Jacob's got to take that title at Mania. Oh man.
Oh yeah, that'd be a win.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've even seen people say that this would be a fatal 4-way with Solo because Jacob and Solo have been having beef. But I feel like Solo hasn't been prominent enough in this storyline to warrant it being a fatal 4-way.
Well, I think
he only really has beef with Jacob. I feel like it'd be Solo versus Jacob 1-on-1, you know?
I hear that. Well, yeah, exactly. I think they should give that story some time to marinate. You know what I mean? They can't just pull the trigger on a fatal 4-way with two completely what's the word? People who are completely, what's that word? Unassociated with that rivalry. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So I do agree that if they do this 3-way, it's got to be Braun, LA Knight, and Fatu. If Fatu does win the championship, maybe Solo gets jealous of it or something. You know, like maybe it could segue nicely,
something like that.
But at the end of the day, it's like I think Fatu should win it. If it's not Fatu, then you can have LA Knight keep it, and then Fatu and him have a 1-on-1. That'd be good. I would see it.
Yeah, I mean, I think if LA Knight wins it, it's definitely a thing of Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman took each other out. And LA Knight just gets
in there.
Took the pin. Yeah.
Now that's probably, you know what, that's probably the best option. I think what's the word? Because we still want to give Jacob Fatu more time to cook, right? We're basically right now we're trying to showcase his skills. We don't want to put a belt on him yet. You know?
Yeah.
Because what's the word? We don't want to rush him into it. You know what I mean? We really want to take our time with it. And I know Triple H loves taking his time with these guys. I think it's best if we just showcase his skill, show how dominant he is in the ring, have a really good showing against LA Knight and Braun Strowman. And I think, because that's what Braun Strowman is there for. He's a big guy that can work and that can put over Fatu. So that's what this is. The fact that Strowman is in this tells me all I need to know. This is a showcase for Fatu, you know?
For sure, yeah.
So, I do think what you mentioned is how it's going to go. It's going to be LA Knight over pin on somebody who was destroyed by Fatu. And I think Braun
Strowman is taking the pin, I think.
Yeah, I think Braun should get pinned. Yeah, I mean, I'm wrong. Yeah. I like Braun. You know what I mean? What's the word? I think he's like I said, a big guy who can work. You know what I mean? I think his place is definitely warranted. And I'm glad that he's back in the WWE, you know. But when it comes to who deserves the title more or what's better for the company, I'd have to say that it's LA Knight winning and Jacob Fatu just showing out, you know? That's what I think.
I think it's a little too early for Jacob Fatu to win the title.
He deserves it soon.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Not yet.
Just not yet. Maybe SummerSlam.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be sick. I'd love to see a 1-on-1 with LA Knight and Jacob. You know, it'd be a crazy triple threat. LA Knight, Shinsuke Nakamura, Jacob Fatu.
I would watch the fuck out of that.
Yes, you would.
I love Shinsuke Nakamura. I know a lot of people, they did fumble his booking as US champion, but I mean, I still love Shinsuke Nakamura, and his new heel look is just, it looks fucking sick.
I think it looks cool. What I don't like is that they betrayed it literally like a couple weeks later when he was sitting in the crowd without it. Like, what are we doing? Wait,
right.
I know Undertaker. Wait. I know Undertaker didn't like that shit. Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, no, I would totally be down for that triple threat. I'm curious to see what they do with the US title because it feels like they just kind of put it back on LA Knight because they didn't know what to do. It's just like, okay, so Nakamura's title run isn't working. Fuck it, give it back to LA Knight.
Right, that's the only way.
So like I don't know what they're gonna do, what the plan is for the future, but I hope they kind of get that division intact. I would love to see Jimmy Uso win it eventually. Carmelo Hayes is always a good contender for it. So there's a lot they can do, but
right, and plenty of time to do it.
If this is the match we get at Mania, I do think LA Knight should retain.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, no, because what's the word? He's definitely the biggest guy here. If Fatu were to win it at Mania, what's the word? I don't know where he would go with it initially, but I would like to see him go up against talent that can put him over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I would assume the first thing would be like LA Knight rematch.
Yeah,
1-on-1.
That would be solid.
I mean, the thing is, if Jacob Fatu wins it, it would actually be a good thing because you could build up the title like how Gunther did with the IC title. Because Jacob Fatu's already kind of built up to being like unbeatable.
The Sabretooth, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like if he wins the US title, who would beat him for it?
Penta.
Penta, that'd be great.
Yo, that because it's once again it's a new guy, you know what I mean? And then dude, the rivalry, they'll kill each other, dude.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I just said it haphazardly. Now I'm thinking about it. It's like they'll put on some great matches and imagine a trilogy. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. That's a match right there.
They kill each other, dude. Yeah, and that's how you make the U.S. title relevant. You put it on literally the hottest new guy you have. You know what I mean? And you place him against literally the newest the hottest new guy you had last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it. I had to watch my wording there. I almost said hottest new guy. Like, hold on, wait,
the hottest guy.
The hot guy. Yeah. Tan fuego, wait, you know what I mean? Or something.
Hottest guy wins the title.
Yeah.
Triple H is just backstage. He's kind of hot. They just books him to win.
Bro, god damn it. Who are you, Fandango? Yeah, I'll stop, my bad. All right. Jesus Christ. Next up on the list, Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. We have so much to say about this match. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'll let you start.
So Logan Paul loses, right?
He fucking better. Imagine AJ Styles losing unironically, like with no cheating or anything, to like we are trying to, because now that AJ's back, we're trying to legitimize him a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, let Logan.
Yeah.
Logan better take this L, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I can't.
The only reason I would accept a Logan Paul win is if Logan was full time. If he was a full time wrestler and they were getting ready to push him and give him an interesting storyline. Only reason he'd need a win. But because he's part time, I mean, come on, AJ.
Hey, you know, man.
It's AJ.
You know, I hear you. Oh, full time. Yeah, let me tell you something. I appreciate you and I respect you, but I'm going to mock you a little bit. Okay? You ready?
I guess.
All right. No, I'm not going to mock you. I'll just mock other opinions and then frame it as I'm mocking other people, but it's really you. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, fair.
You're welcome.
Fair.
But Logan Paul's actually a skilled wrestler if you think about it. You know, you really have to respect the grit it takes to get into that mat. You really have to think about the fact that he's doing all these crazy stunts. It's like Ricochet. Oh my God. You know, you see all these big montages of how he's falling off the ropes and shit. I don't give a fuck. He's got to lose. That's it. You're welcome.
Valid.
Next, Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky. Now, this one has had a hell of a lot of build up to it. I mean, they're trying to act like Rhea Ripley not going to be in the match. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Let's be honest here, people. Come on now. What do you think, Squeedo?
In terms of what, just the match overall, or them not confirming Rhea for it yet?
I mean,
or at least seemingly making it seem like
let's talk about build-up first. Let's talk about the fact that they have been going back and forth for the longest time. They keep playing the Io Sky will not be overlooked card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the word? I have so much credit to give for Rhea Ripley losing the title on a random Raw show. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That is just such a great move because now it's adding to that era of you have no idea what the fuck is going to happen on Raw. Stay tuned, you know? My God.
Yeah, this build has been, in my opinion, the most unpredictable one so far. In the sense that it didn't seem like this match was going to happen at all.
Yep.
Like, it really felt like they were building to another Rhea versus
Bianca.
Liv Morgan match.
Right. Oh, Liv. Yeah, you're right. Because of how good she was on the Chamber. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then Bianca wins the Chamber. And then it's, oh, shit. Okay, so we're getting Bianca versus Rhea. But then Rhea still has to defend her title against Io the night after Elimination Chamber. And Io fucking wins it. what kind of build is this? Like, it's insane.
Because usually, like you said, usually they're trying to keep the fucking wrestlers on the thing so they can build it up as long as possible. Here, it's like all these guys are stars. We all know they're good. That's what it is, right? These guys are safe bets. No matter what.
Yeah, these are Triple H's 3 favorites.
Exactly. These are your best bets. So he's just throwing them all in. It's like, fucking go for it, you know?
Yeah.
You think Liv Morgan and what's the other one? Raquel Rodriguez, you think they're going to defend their tag titles at Mania?
They definitely have to be at Mania. Especially Liv Morgan has to be at Mania somehow. I mean, with the year she's had, she's probably the best on the roster in like the past year.
No, currently.
Like, carried the women's division.
100%.
So her not being on Mania, I think, would just be a big slap in the face to how well she's been doing so far. That's why I was surprised that it's like we're getting this triple threat and Liv Morgan's not in it.
I 100% agree with that. I find it ridiculous that Liv Morgan is in the main event scene, right? But I also find it, what's the word? But I also see why. You know what I mean? It's like, this is Bianca. This is Bianca Belair. This is Io. This is Rhea. All a triple threat. Like, this is a very unique and very cool match to do. And plus, what's the word? How are they not going to have Rhea in the main event scene, right? With how over she is. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, I mean, I think the reason why Liv isn't here is mainly because of the fact that, well, Rhea's here, I'm not saying that like, oh, WWE's keeping her down. It's like, no, she's in over there, boosting up Raquel, defending the tag team titles, boosting up other, like, she's in a very privileged position. It's not about the belt, guys. You know what I mean? She's in a very privileged position right now, and that's because of all her fucking hard work. Liv Morgan has been delivering every match she's been in, just ridiculously good, Yeah. So, what's the word? Overall, when it comes to this match in particular, I'm very excited. I think that they are going to cash in an absolute classic here. I think that Bianca and Belair are going to be going crazy at each other, and Io Sky's just going to be jumping at people from the top rope the entire match. It's going to be fucking awesome,
Yeah.
I just hope that it's not too sloppy. Triple threats tend to be that way. Triple threats or fatals, But I also believe that with this new regime, a lot of these matches feel a lot more well rehearsed. A lot more well planned out. The spots don't feel as random as they used to. Like, it all seems pretty well planned. So I have a lot of faith that this match is going to deliver, especially because it's Mania. That's the time you have to. You know what I mean?
And it's interesting, too, because they're really just slamming a few dream matches together. Like, Rhea and Bianca have not come face to face at all on the main roster one-on-one. Not since NXT have they had a match together. And then you have Io and Rhea, who are friends in real life, haven't really had a match on the main roster. They had a few matches in NXT, and Io won like every single one of them. And then Io and Bianca are, I've seen people call them wrestling soulmates. And the fact that every time they're in the ring together, they put on a 5-star classic. So it's just, you're putting all these women together, and it's a recipe for like possibly match of the night.
Yeah.
I think no matter what, night 1, night 2, this could definitely be match of the night at WrestleMania. And for me, Rhea stole in the show before. Her versus Charlotte, WrestleMania 39. That's my favorite match of that WrestleMania. I don't give a fuck what anyone else says. That match is a banger. And then Io, she's just one of my favorites in the entire roster. Men or women, Io Sky is one of my favorite in-ring performers. She's just amazing. And Bianca Belair, talented as fuck. She was the face of the women's division basically when I started getting back into watching wrestling. So I'm glad to see her back in the main event scene. I feel like she was kind of brought down a little bit when they put her in the tag division, but I'm glad she's in the main event scene and she's getting the spotlight that she absolutely deserves.
What's crazy to me is that she was on, like, even though she was in the tag division, she was on the front of everything. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it was that demographic. You know what I mean? It was the perfect. She was always in the perfect place holding part there. So even then, even when she was in the tag division, she was still the face of a lot of WWE stuff. And that's not just because of demographic. That's because she's ridiculously talented. She's got a cool gimmick. I mean, let me tell you, that hair thing, ain't nobody else can do that shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Not only that, but she's got that walkout music with all that charisma. I mean, forget it. She's the perfect package. She's the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so,
you gotta love Bianca Belair.
Yeah, right. Who doesn't? You know what I mean? That's the same thing. Same goes for Io. Let me double and second that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Io Sky is, like I said, if it wasn't for Liv Morgan, would be the baddest motherfucker on the women's roster right now. That's it. You know, Liv Morgan just gets that spot because she's been pulling. I think mainly because of like how different it is now that she's no longer going up against Rhea every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, my God, it's like, wow, that was, I said this once, and there's no disrespect to Rhea. I just feel like the booking wise, the whole Rhea booking thing was holding Liv back a lot. You can tell the difference. You know what I mean? My God.
Yeah, I mean, Liv shined at, what was it, Crown Jewel last year when they were doing champion versus champion. Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax. Liv, she was carrying that feud.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, just put a spotlight on Liv, put a mic in her hand, put her in the ring. You're gonna get peak every time.
Listen, I don't know if carry is the right word for Nia. Dragged, maybe. You know what I mean? Wheeled, carted.
Just everything under the sun.
Levitated. I don't know. Can she do that? I think she's got powers, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she lured her with like a steaming hot dog. All right, I'm done. All right, we're good. Extra mustard, hold the mayo. Yeah. All right, next.
All right. We didn't say who you think was going to win.
Oh shit, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It literally could go any direction. I don't think it'll be Rhea. That's what I do know.
No.
I think Bianca wins. Because then it would be a good segue for Jade.
Yeah.
Eventually.
And I think Rhea has to lose.
Absolutely.
For her character. Because that one promo that they put on social media from her backstage of her kind of needing to rediscover herself, she has to lose.
Goddamn
Otherwise,
right.
I think it just destroys like whatever, character arc she's on now. And I think I wrote this down. I think it'd make an interesting trilogy. And you have WrestleMania 39 where Rhea won the title against Charlotte. WrestleMania 40, Rhea walked in as champion and retained against Becky Lynch. And then you have 41 where Rhea goes after the title once again, but she loses. So you have win, retain, and lose. And I think that'd just be such an interesting character journey for Rhea Ripley to have where, who knows what they do with her afterwards. Maybe she goes on a journey of rediscovery, maybe a heel turn. I don't know. There's a lot they could do with Rhea after Mania, but I think she's the least likely to win. Definitely losing.
Yeah, I don't think she wins.
And then
either.
for Io, I don't think Io wins either.
No.
I think Io, for the second year in a row, is walking into WrestleMania as champion, but she's not leaving with the belt.
Right.
And I don't really have any reasoning as to why. I just don't see her winning. I don't know why. I think Bianca definitely wins it. I think she needs the win. She hasn't had a major push, I feel, in a long, long time. And now she's a part of this interesting story with Jade Cargill and Naomi. I think if you put the belt on her and you put that storyline into the main event scene, you get something special on your hands. Can lead to, Bianca versus Naomi, maybe Bianca versus Jade. There's a lot you can do. And I think it just opens up the division completely. Where if you have Bianca win, like you can have so many fresh feuds that we haven't seen in a long time or ever. So I think Bianca has to win it.
Yeah, I think so too. I do love Io as champion. Don't get me wrong, but Io did have it for an extremely long time in the past, and you also have to factor in that Io don't need the belt. She's ridiculously talented on her own. She puts over
and she's
whoever.
Over regardless.
Yeah. And then you have Rhea, which I agree shouldn't win, mainly because it goes against her arc. And Bianca, there's just way too much opportunity to turn down. So I'd say Bianca wins.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to bring up about Rhea Ripley is that you were talking about how, it would go against her promo that she cut in that back room one day. I was thinking that if she loses, she needs to lose herself. You know what I mean? She needs to, I want her to go away for a while. I'm not sure how it's going to go. But a rough sketch a rough sketch of how she comes back is I want her to be the fucking phenom. And what I mean by the phenom is I basically want her to be like a dark version of herself, take no prison or something like that. And I feel like the best comparison for me to draw is when Rhea Ripley came back with that mask after she broke her face in that parking lot.
Yeah.
When she came in that day and she just walked in and yelled War Games and fucking headbutt Liv like that. That's the Rhea I need.
Take no prisoners.
I need the Rhea I need that Rhea that's brutal, that's shocking, that doesn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I need that Rhea. No more corny mommy, no more whatever. Yeah. I needed to come in there and be the baddest motherfucker alive, all right? Because guess what? A lot of the wrestlers that pull that I'm the baddest person alive gimmick don't have really good mic skills or kind of any good mic skills. But Rhea has been really working on that fucking what's the word? I've been really working on her mic stuff. I don't really like her, but I don't really like her bragging. But when it comes to aggression, she's got it, man. And I'm telling you, they harness that and make her that no prisoners badass, that female fought too. It's over. It's over. She starts pulling up in a shiesty. It's over. You know.
So do you think they turn her heel?
You know, it depends, right? It's like it really just depends on who she goes. I feel like heel would definitely be the best way to go. She just comes back and just doesn't give a fuck. Starts just hurting everybody who's wronged her. She can be Kane, you know what I mean? She can be, she's, you know, she's going down the hit list, you know what I mean? Just a bunch of backstage, like cuts where like, damn, people are being found, all over, you know, but oh my God, she's injured. Like how Jade Cargill got found. You got to start finding everyone else just like that, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, who is doing this? And then during like a big main event for the belt, you just hear the music come on after like months. It's like, oh my God, she's back. You know, and then she just comes in. She doesn't try to talk to anybody. She doesn't. No. She just destroys everyone's in the ring and then leaves. She doesn't say shit. That's it. You know, like I just need that. You know what I mean? I need that aggression that I'm not here to play around anymore. That kind of thing. And so she can pull something like that off. You know. Of course, maybe you could throw in a bit more charisma. Maybe you can throw in the fact that she's heel or face, but something along the lines of she comes back extremely aggressive and not nowhere near as braggy as she once was. I think that will go really, really well with her character arc. I think so.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I'd see it.
Yeah, I'd see it too.
All right. Was there anything else?
I didn't really have anything else.
Peak Cinema.
Yeah, I didn't have anything else.
Next up on the list, Naomi versus Jade Cargill. Oh boy.
Yeah, this has been a feud.
Yeah. To be honest, I haven't seen much of the build-up. How was it?
It's been a lot of, you know, Jade coming out, kicking Naomi's ass, or Naomi running away. But I think Naomi's reasons for turning, or at least her reasons for attacking Jade, are justified because she's basically in the shadow of Jade Cargill. You know, it's the typical story. Jade comes in, she's the new hot talent, and everyone just kind of forgets about Naomi.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting storyline. I'm curious as to how this match is going to go, though. Because I do really like Naomi, but I don't love her in the ring. I think she's like very charismatic and a great character, but she hasn't really put on any like 5-star bangers for me. And I feel like Jade Cargill is still very new. So I'm curious to see how the match is going to go. But storyline wise, it's been good. It's been an interesting feud. Naomi being heel, I think for the first time, has been an interesting look.
All right.
There's a lot that they can do with it.
Well,
but I think at the end of the day, it's Jade winning.
Right, it has.
I don't see Naomi beating Jade.
I think this match doesn't go on for long either.
No.
I'd be surprised.
Squash.
I'd be surprised if there's even a pin. What's the word? I feel like Jade Cargill does win. She hits the finisher in the middle of the ring and pins. If it's not that clean, then they're gonna just kill each other on the outside of the ropes. Either one. One thing I will add is that they're probably going to throw a twist at us where someone interferes. You know, now will it be Bianca? Yeah, you know, right? Or will it be some? You know, because let's be honest here, Bianca and Naomi go way back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
way back. So like, let's be honest here. Do we really think Bianca didn't order that shit? Come on. Yeah, I mean, you don't think Bianca orchestrated? Come on. Yeah, especially...
And a Bianca heel turn would be so interesting.
Yeah, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. And now that she's got the belt, forget it. You know, and I don't think Jade Cargill should get the shot immediately either. I think that like she should go through some rings, go through some qualifiers, whatever, right? But eventually she does get the chance. And then, you know, and then it's going to be her winning it over Bianca. I mean, it's the perfect way. But you'd have to have Bianca be heel. Can't be Jade being heel because especially under these circumstances, it just doesn't work, you know? So,
that's true.
Most of the word. So I'm definitely behind the idea that Jade Cargill wins clean against Naomi, but I think what they're going to do is a switcheroo, which I'd actually prefer better. If Bianca gets in there, maybe it's a mass assailant and then she reveals it's her or something like that, right? Whatever it is. If they find a way to work in Bianca actually orchestrated everything into this match, peak cinema. I'll enjoy it even more. You know?
And we also should note that this match is not confirmed yet, but
not confirmed.
I mean, it's got to happen at WrestleMania.
It should happen. You know, if it doesn't happen then, it'll probably happen on an episode of Raw. Either one.
Yeah,
you know?
But I feel like that'd be such a disservice to...
I agree.
Because this is one of the storylines that I feel like most people are into.
Right.
Heading into WrestleMania. Just putting it on like a SmackDown or a Raw would just be an insult.
Especially when Mania is right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the word? Because you look at like the beginning of Elimination Chamber with Jade Cargill coming back. They started off the story with such a massive bang. It's ridiculous. They literally halted all the other progress to tell this story. It can't be at a random Raw match. Come on now, guys.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's cool that like this story has flowed so naturally too. Because I think back to like the Royal Rumble last year where Naomi came out at number 2, her return from her being at TNA. And it's just like, oh shit, Naomi's finally back. But the one thing everyone was talking about after the match was Jade Cargill's moment. You know, she kind of came in and literally stole the spotlight from Naomi. So,
bitch.
Yeah, it's been a storyline that's flowed really naturally. And I do think these two women are, you know, they're going to work pretty well together. And so I'm excited to see what they do in the actual match at WrestleMania.
I don't think it'll be too long, and I think it'll work towards their benefit. What's the word? ¿Cómo se dice? To be honest, I don't see them having too much chemistry. Maybe I'm crazy, but I just don't see them having too much chemistry. So we'll see.
Yeah.
What's the word? I hope they do. ¿Cómo se dice?
Yeah, me too.
Naomi, I've always enjoyed her presence, but yeah, like how you said, it's like I never really seen her as crazy remarkable in the ring. What's the word? Jade Cargill, I enjoy her performances a lot, but I also, people have always said, it's like she poses a lot, and like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, she does.
So what's the word? It's just a matter of trying to find like a perfect balance. I feel like if anybody can pull off like a decent performance, I definitely think Naomi will give it the best shot she could possibly do here, because it's Mania. I feel like Naomi's generally pretty safe when it comes to her movements, but with this match, I don't think she's going to do that. I think she's going to throw caution to the wind, you know? Yeah. So I'd like to think this is going to be a very solid match. Absolutely. So I'm decently excited. I hope it goes well. And if I had to say who wins, I think it's a disqualification. If not, it's Cargill clean pin.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else?
I don't have anything.
Bet. Next up on the list, this is an unconfirmed one. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Now, if this one is confirmed, I would be very decently hyped over it, mainly because these two, they can put on a banger. I know they can. Yeah. You know what I mean? How do you feel about this?
I love Damian Priest, and I love Drew McIntyre. I don't think this feud is doing anything for either of them.
No.
It's just... we need to give them something to do.
Right. I feel like they're stuck in the same place here.
Yeah. We couldn't fit them anywhere else, so we'll just have them fight each other. But I am excited for this match just because I do like these two wrestlers. And like you said, they can both put on bangers. I mean, look at, Drew's feud with CM Punk, Gunther versus Damian Priest.
Dude, that first Gunther and Priest match was next level. My God.
Yeah.
Priest was giving them kicks, bro.
Yeah, and these two had a match at Clash at the Castle last year, but Damian won due to interference from Punk, so he never really got a clean win.
Yeah.
So this is basically just two heavyweight, big fucking dudes.
Yep, that are just gonna be
go.
Yeah, and they're gonna be fucking going. They're gonna be killing each other there, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I think this is another one that it's going to be a sleeper. Like, people are going into it like, I don't really care about this feud, but the match is going to be good. The match is going to be good. You can trust that.
Yeah,
In terms of storyline and where they go, this feud isn't really doing anything, man.
I mean, who wins? That's my thing. I mean, that because usually you can tell like from a story perspective, right? Like, it would make the most sense to go this way, or this person needs it the most right now.
Yeah.
With this, it's like fuck, because you got Drew McIntyre, who's been just so consistent for so long, and it's like he held the championship for 5 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Lost to Damian Priest.
Right. And then you got Damian Priest, who held it for a little while, right? Had some really good matches, but it's like, I don't really see him being champion again anytime soon, right? So it's like,
yeah.
But then again, you also think it's like, well, what the fuck? Where is he supposed to go? You know, because he's a main eventer. He's not a fucking peon. He's not peon, but he's not like a mid person either. You know, he's not the United States Intercontinental. He's a main eventer. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck, where do we put him, you know?
Yeah,
so,
they're both in very similar positions right now.
Yeah.
I will say, in terms of who wins, I think it's Drew McIntyre, for the simple reason of Drew lost to Damian Priest at WrestleMania last year when he cashed in Money in the Bank, and he lost again to Damian Priest at Clash at the Castle because of CM Punk interference. I think Drew gets his win back.
Fair.
And also, Damian eliminated McIntyre from the Royal Rumble in the Chamber. So I think Drew gets his win back.
You know what? I hear you. Yeah, and you know what? I'll second that. I think Damian Priest loses here against Drew. I think Drew wins, and I think this will be the start of his like arc where it's like, okay, I'm like undoing all the issues, you know, like, and this is the first one. Yeah. I'm doing all the crazy shit that happened to me over the year, all the what's the word? All the false starts, all the betrayals. I'm starting with Priest, you know. Like, that would be solid. I'd enjoy that. I remember seeing like CM Punk get wrapped up in their little feud. And I'm like, oh, that would have been cool. But that's planting the seed. We'll see it later. Don't worry.
Yeah, Punk versus Priest would be a good match.
Dude, they are killing each other in this match. Holy shit.
Yeah, for real.
God, yo, Drew is just getting hammered. Yo, all I'm saying is a backstage brawl at Mania. Woo,
oh yeah,
all day, baby, all day. Get her done. All day. So yeah,
I agree. This is an interesting feud. I think it's gonna be good. And I think McIntyre wins. I think that's got to be my final consensus. I love you, Damian Priest, but I don't think you're making it out of WrestleMania with your spine intact. Yeah.
You're right. I don't think he is gonna make it out with his fucking spine intact.
Yeah, he's supposed to be paralyzed. But he's not going down without a fight, though.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
His tattoos are gonna be inverted.
It could easily be like a 40-minute banger. Just let him cook.
Yo, last man standing match. Make it happen.
Yo, if this is a trilogy, if they make it the start of like a new trilogy between Priest and McIntyre, I'd be down.
All day, baby, all day. Because they kill each other,
just
man.
Keep upping the stipulations.
I'm down. Get her done. Next up on the list, we have a little bit of speculation on this one, right? So we're thinking it might go Penta versus Braun Breaker, but I would also like, and I think you would as well, Squito, I would like for this to be a fatal four-way match with Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, Braun Breaker, and Penta, all going up against each other, just going ham, you know.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that? What are we thinking?
Oh yeah, so they've been cooking with this storyline so far.
Yeah.
And the storyline feels very Judgment Day focused. If Finn Balor needs a win.
Real? For once.
Yeah, he's been on a hot losing streak. But you know what? I'm gonna say it. I don't think he wins the IC title in this Fatal 4-Way at Mania.
Who's gonna win it?
I don't see it. I think it's Dominic Mysterio. I think. Yeah. So here's my theory, okay? So you get Penta and you get Braun Breaker in the match, all right? Penta and Braun Breaker are obviously going to cook. Just put them in the ring, they're going to cook.
Oh my God. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised because I think it's going to be a group match. I thought the first match they would have is one-on-one, you know?
Yep. So yeah, I think Penta, Braun Breaker, they're going to cook. Finn Balor also going to cook. And I think Dom is just going to get his ass kicked.
Yep.
For the entire match.
Yep.
Specifically by Braun Breaker. I think he's going to get manhandled and ragdolled by Braun Breaker.
He is going to break the hell out of Dom, bro. Yep.
Yeah, so I think this is going to be a fatal four-way that turns into mostly a triple threat between Finn, Braun, and Penta.
Yep.
And I think those three kill each other. Absolutely destroy one another. But I think Braun... This is how I see the match going in my head. I think Braun gets a good spear on Finn Balor, but he's exhausted, right? Him, Penta, Finn, they've been killing each other. He's exhausted. He gets the spear on Finn and rolls out of the ring. And Dom pins Finn Balor to win the IC title.
Oh, shit. Yo, if Dom actually pinned Finn... Yo, now
that's how I see the match going in my head.
Now that would be peak cinema. I would watch that and rewatch that. That would be match of the night right then and there. I don't care if it's Cody v. John. It doesn't matter. Match of the night. Oh my God, that would literally be like the only like believable way for me to think that Braun would lose this too. It's like if Braun's
and for
not
Dom to win,
because listen, I don't want to count out Penta because Penta's a badass motherfucker. Don't get me wrong, he's amazing. But let's talk about it. All right, he's a new guy.
Yeah.
All right, he's no way they're gonna slap the belt on him right at the beginning. You know what I mean? Listen, they're trying to build him up some more, you know, and they're trying to get him in the good graces of the people, but especially because the WWE's had a lot of bad luck with luchadors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let me tell you something to do. Right now, they're just trying not to spoil what they have. I know that Penta's gonna continue to kill it because he's just such a great personality. You know, along with his ring skill, I mean, that guy is going to remain timeless for a little while. So let him cook. Let be patient. All right. But Dominic, that has to be the way. I can't agree with you more. It has to be Dominic Mysterio taking advantage of Braun Breaker's spear or some sort of finisher on Finn, which then leads to Dominic getting in there and getting that 1, 2, 3 on Finn Balor. It's got to be.
He's lying and he's cheating and he's stealing his way to victory, Eddie Guerrero style.
And bro, let me tell him the thing that you said, where it's like, when Dominic wins, he's gonna be talking about how he pinned him clean. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think because people already fucking hate Dom, right?
Right.
He's got so much heat. You can't hear him when he's cutting a promo because the boos are so loud. If you want to make Dom seem like even more of a prick. Have Braun try to get his rematch for the IC title, and Dom is not giving it to him. I beat you clean. In this scenario, I beat you clean at WrestleMania. You don't deserve another title shot.
Real.
Braun is gonna kill him.
Yep. Oh
Braun Breaker would fucking kill him.
Yeah, on a one-on-one match? Yeah, he better talk his way out of that one, Chief. Ha Chingalo. Yeah, so I'm 100% behind the idea that Dom, because Dom's already so like the fans literally hate him, sending him death threats like, "Hey, let's go all day, baby." You know, I need more of that. We've
already had a build up for months of tension between Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio, and I think it's clear that at this point Dom doesn't respect Finn as a leader of the Judgment Day. Dom has been pushing for there to be a new member in Judgment Day. Maybe the new member comes in, helps him out during the Fatal 4-Way.
That'd be nice.
Who knows? Who knows what happens? But I think it's clear that Judgment Day is going to split up, or at least Finn is going to get kicked out of Judgment Day. Dom should be the leader, and I think Dom should win the gold.
I think Dom should win the gold. And you know what, man? I said this once. I said it a million times. Let me tell you, Dom winning would be awesome. But let me talk about that new member. We talked about this before. We uploaded it, everything, and I'm going to bring it up once again because I still, I just looking at the roster, I'm like, it still makes the most sense to me. And, you know, it's probably never going to happen because it's way out there, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm going to speak my piece, all right? I'm going to speak my truth, and you can't stop me, all right? Solo Sikoa is the new member. It's got to be. It's got to be. And you know what? Let me tell you why, all right? I'm going to tell that because I know you know, all right? But I'm going to tell them, all right? Y'all don't understand. Solo Sikoa's been having problems with Fatu and the Lower Brothers and the whatever. You know what I mean? He's been having a little bit of a problem, right? And so what you're going to naturally think is that he's going to move over to the other team, you know, get some space, maybe even defect. But as time goes on, you're going to realize that Solo's destroying the team from within. Eventually, the Judgment Day faction will liquidate, and it will be because of Solo Sikoa. Right now, the Judgment Day need a big enforcer. That's what they're lacking. When Damian Priest left, that's what they're lacking is a big enforcer. And while Raquel fits that spot, I feel like they need a guy. You know what I mean? And so who is going to be the big enforcer? You look at everyone on the roster, it's like, well, it can't be Braun Strowman. It can't be this guy. It can't be that guy. We did the math. And while I don't know if he agrees with me, I agree with myself. I think it's going to be Solo Sikoa. If they don't pull in an NXT guy, it's got to be Solo. That's unless they bring back Bronson Reed.
Ooh, yeah.
That's the only way.
Yeah. We haven't seen Bronson Reed in a while.
Hey, Bronson Reed.
I hope his foot's doing well.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, if he comes back fully recovered, Bronson Reed. If not Bronson, it's got to be Solo. That's my official opinion and diagnosis. Solo Sikoa. Thank you. Anything else?
No. I just want to see Dom win. Yeah,
me too. That's gonna be so fucking sick. Damn, look at Braun, bro. He don't give a fuck. Look at this.
Yeah, for real. He's just murdering them.
What is bro doing? All right, next. Next up on the list, Jey Uso versus Gunther. What's up, man? How you doing? What do you think? Jey Uso versus Gunther. Let's talk about build-up first. Let's talk about the man, the myth, the main event, winning the Royal Rumble. And how in the world do people criticize that decision? Let's just be honest here. You know?
I feel like so many people have turned on Jey recently.
Right?
It's like, oh, he doesn't deserve a world title match at Mania. He doesn't deserve a Rumble win. He's not good in the ring. All he says is yeet. And it's like, this dude has been over for years now. If you go back to the beginning of the Bloodline story, this man has been over for years. He went from Roman Reigns' right-hand man to the undisputed tag team Uso, longest reigning tag team champs of all time.
Yep.
And now he is main event Jey Uso on his own on the Monday Night Raw roster.
Yep.
He deserves it, man.
I agree.
He deserves it. He's the #1 merch seller. Everyone says yeet. He got the crowd yeeting with him every week. Like, the evidence is in front of you. He is over. And it's like, I'll never forget this tweet of the Raw Netflix premiere when Jey Uso came out for his entrance. Someone tweeted, Jey Uso's entrance would have you think he is the #1 guy in the entire wrestling industry. And it's the truth, because it's just how over he is. It's fucking Jey Uso. And I'm saying all this, but Jey Uso versus Gunther is one of the trickiest matches of all time. Because Gunther has beaten Jey before.
Hold on. It's the trickiest match to judge because it's fucking Gunther.
Yeah.
Continue.
He's already beaten Jey. What is it? Like 3-0, 2-0, something like that. 4-0. He's beaten Jey.
Yeah.
It's not an issue for him. He's done it before.
You can't even lace my boots.
Yeah. And in the build-up, you know, it's so interesting because you have Gunther, who's the ring general, this amazing in-ring wrestler.
Yeah.
Longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. He puts on banger after banger after banger after banger. And then you have Jey Uso, who he's not as good in ring.
He's aight.
But the character, the character, the catchphrase, the merch, he's what you want in a top guy.
Yeah, I'm right.
So it's like you have one of the best in-ring workers in the entire world And then you have one of the most over wrestlers in the entire world.
Yup.
And you put them in a ring together.
Yup.
And it's just... I don't know, man. This build-up has been so fucking good, bro. It's Gunther shooting Jay down every chance he gets. Like, Gunther has been dominating, I think, the build-up. There was a little lull after Royal Rumble where I think there wasn't really much build-up between Jay and Gunther. But now they've been slowly, like, wrapping things up. Like, you had... So Jay squashed Austin Theory on Raw, won in like 20-something seconds.
Bro, Austin is now a jobber, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, for sure.
Jesus.
Yeah. They, yeah, poor Austin Theory, bro.
Yeah, what the... It wasn't even a finishing move. He just got fucked up.
It was a spear.
But, like, isn't Jey Uso's the splash?
Yeah, his finisher's a splash, but he's been using the spear, too.
All right.
Not as a finisher, but he's been using the spear.
You see what I mean? What the fuck?
Yeah, but, yeah, I don't know. You just have Gunther shooting down Jay every opportunity he gets. Jay squashed Austin Theory. You had Jay botch his suicide dive over the top rope, and then they turned that into a storyline where he slipped when he went for the spear, and Gunther took advantage of it.
Yeah.
The only criticism I have with the build so far is I think it's too similar to Sammy and Gunther from last year.
Yes, very much so.
In that it's Gunther gets into your mind. He's this unbeatable champion. And then his opponent is the underdog that has to defy all the odds.
It's like an extended version, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same storyline from last year. Except the difference is I feel like from the beginning we knew Sammy was capable of winning against Gunther. We just didn't want to believe it because it's fucking Gunther.
Right.
So when he wins, it's like, oh my God, Sammy won. But it's also, yeah, I could see it. It makes sense. It's like Sammy won.
Right.
But then with this one, it's just, I don't see Jay beating Gunther. But how do you not have Jay win the world title at WrestleMania?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you exactly why. Because let me tell something to you. Gunther has been pushing himself up past what Damian Priest has been burying him under. Let me tell you something, okay? We love Damian Priest, but after he went after that little run where Gunther was unsure of himself as champion, how do you truly legitimize him as the devil in human clothing, as doing to Jimmy what he did to Jimmy, doing it to Jay in the main event of WrestleMania, making him his bitch the entirety of that match, Jay desperately trying to win, and then at the end, Gunther snuffing that light. Dooming and damning main event Jey Uso. I don't know if Jey Uso ever recovers, but I feel like that would be the boldest of choices. Would be for Jey Uso to try his hardest, to go as hard as he can, to really try to become the main event Jey Uso. And then at the last moment, Gunther removes all doubt and destroys Jey Uso's dreams. If anybody can have that kind of storyline, it's Gunther.
Yeah.
Because that's what he did for his entire IC run.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think they're going to do it?
To Chad Gable.
Huh? Yeah.
I said it's what he did to Chad Gable.
Yeah. Are they going to do it? I don't think so. But
yeah,
should they? Absolutely. Listen, I love Jey Uso. I think he's over as fuck. But you also have to realize he's been in this company for a really long time. And I feel like that right now he's doing so good at merch, he doesn't need the fucking title, right? But you need to believe in him. And you know why you need to believe in him? Not to boost Jey Uso, but to make Gunther that much of a despicable heel. If he somehow gets the best of Jay, and not just a sliver, whatever, but destroys him near the end, I mean, how can you not be afraid of that man?
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They're not just trying to get you to dislike Gunther, to be annoyed by him, but to be genuinely intimidated by his presence. And the way you do that is by Gunther snuffing out the second biggest face in the company right now. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I like that storyline. So what do you think?
Yeah. I think that would be the more entertaining option. Because Jay winning is the safe option. It's the safe option. But we're also living
in unsafe times. Yep.
Yeah.
That we going with the plot twist, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm telling you this. If this match is on night 1, Jey Uso is fucked. Because come Saturday.
Come Saturday.
If this is a night 1 match, Jay's not winning. Night 2, maybe.
Nah, bro. I think it's gonna be come Sunday.
Come Sunday.
All day, baby. All day.
Come WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's the after shot. What are those things called? Like when you have a little bit left and just be coming out. I don't know what it's called. He's got a little extra discharge. It's all right.
Come Saturday.
All right.
Nah, Gunther needs to win. That's it. All day, every day, Gunther's winning. Because I tell you
I think
something.
I want Gunther to win more.
Let me tell you, I love Jay. Don't get me wrong, but it's a thing where it's like, does he need the title? No. Does Gunther need to be legitimized as a fucking villain? Absolutely. Do it.
Yeah. I see Jay in kind of the same lens that I see LA Knight, in that he doesn't need gold to get over.
He doesn't need it. Like, LA Knight's got the Slim Jim deal. The fuck he need a belt for?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and he's in the Slim Jim commercial with Jay.
Yeah. Let me do it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need that belt.
Yeah.
You don't need the belt. It's all good. You're making way too much money. It's all good.
Yeah.
That's my professional opinion.
Yeah, it's an interesting match, man. It's interesting
so
fucking
interesting, match. And you know what? It could go either way, like you said. The unpredictable era is so fucking entertaining because it could go both ways.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the time, you're seeing a match, you're like, okay, it won't go that way, obviously, right? But here it's like it could go either way. But if I had to choose, if I had to put money on it, Gunther all day, every day.
Yeah. And I think, honestly, Gunther is probably best, not for storyline, but for the World Heavyweight Championship itself.
Absolutely.
Because me personally, Damian Priest was not a bad champion. But I didn't care. I haven't cared that much about the World Heavyweight title since Seth Rollins lost it at WrestleMania 40. To me, when Seth Rollins had the belt around his waist, that was the most interesting title in the company. Or one of them. Gunther was IC champion at the time. That was the best title in the company.
Right.
But in terms of the world title, I cared more about the World Heavyweight Championship on a week-to-week basis than I did the Undisputed title.
Yeah.
Because the Undisputed title is just, okay, yeah, Roman's going to lose it at WrestleMania. So he has his match at Royal Rumble. He has his match at Crown Jewel. Yeah, they're entertaining feuds, entertaining matches, but Roman's not going to lose, at least not until Mania, and he's losing to Cody. But with Seth Rollins, he was there every week. He brought out the belt every single Monday Night Raw. He defended it on Monday Night Raw. He defended it every PLE. He had banger after banger after banger. That was the workhorse title.
Right.
The World Heavyweight Championship was one of the best belts on the roster. And since he's lost it, I haven't cared that much about the title. And honestly, as much as I love Gunther, I've cared about the title the least when it's been around Gunther's waist.
Yep.
He hasn't had any meaningful storylines, meaningful builds, meaningful matches. It's just been kind of there. It's like, yeah, he's champion. It's whatever.
He's a safe bet to slap the belt on, but I don't. If he loses it here, when he's finally building like actual momentum as a really credible main event heel, because right, like that whole segment with him holding Jimmy Uso down and choking him out while he's bleeding all over him. Gunther's covered in blood, and Jay's desperately trying to get to him. Like, you cannot have Gunther lose after that.
Yeah,
you are trying
to. That's like
to
09 Randy Orton levels of hatred.
If he's doing that on a weekly basis and like has been doing that for the past year, of course, but he just started doing that. There's no way in hell you stifle all that momentum by having Jey Uso win, who will be the exact same Jey Uso whether or not he has a belt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's the thing. The belt doesn't add anything to Jay's character.
It just doesn't. You know, other than that, now I'm actually main event. It's like, well, technically you are main event. You were in multiple main event. Yeah, but I hear you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, it legitimizes me as world champion, not just a tag team wrestler. It's like, well, I feel like that story is going to end with him just like, well, that's insecurity talking. You know what I mean? Like, that's all it is, you know? So I'm not entirely sure. But at the end of the day, I know for damn sure that he can't take that belt off of Gunther. And if he does, to be honest with you, I would find that as a bit disappointing because I know Gunther has so much more potential than that, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
And it's also a thing of, I was going to say, it's a thing of if Jay wins, I don't see him holding the belt for long either.
Of course not. I think Jay loses it quick, and then Gunther's probably going to go up against the guy who won it after a few months. You know what I mean? Whoever. You know?
Yeah, something. I don't know.
I just don't want to see Gunther get kicked down the card. Fuck you. I don't want to see that at all.
Yeah. If Gunther loses, Gunther's got to be gone for a few months.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, let him build some aura. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Gunther's best for the title, for the belt.
Yeah.
But I also feel like, I don't know, they need to give him more meaningful feuds, man. More meaningful matches. I mean, who hasn't he faced yet?
Let's see.
That would be good.
Of course. What's the word? I know he went up against Drew, right? He went up against Drew. He went up against Damian. Sheamus, I think he went to. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was when he was IC title. They could run back Drew
of course, all day. All day. What's the word? He went up against a few people that didn't matter. I'd love to see him versus AJ Styles. It'd be a solid fucking match.
Oh, yeah.
All day. You know?
That's a feud right there.
Oh, yeah. All day. What's the word? I'd love to see him. Oh, my God. Eventually, it's going to be Gunther versus Braun Breaker. We don't know when that's going to happen, but when it starts, oh, my fucking God. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whenever Ilya Dragunov comes back,
oh,
Dragunov versus Gunther, run it
shit.
back on the main roster.
All day,
let him cook.
baby. All day. Let him cook. Hold on. I need to see Ilya Dragunov's beat red chest again. Okay, no.
Yeah.
You know, all day, baby. Yo, they are having a 5-star classic in front of us. Holy shit.
I hope this happens in real life. I think I want Gunther to get the best out of Jey Uso, bro.
I seriously do. I want Jey Uso to somehow pull a 5-star out of his culo. You know what I mean? I need that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I want Jey to like hit moves that we've never seen him do.
Like that.
Yeah. Like just to get the win.
Yeah,
you know?
real. I want to see some shit. Like I want. It needs to be on the level of when John Cena hit that springboard stunner on Rusev. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be.
Oh yeah,
on
for the
that
first
level.
time, everyone was like, "What the fuck did I just see?"
Yeah. Like, what? Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Like I need to see Jay hit a Hurricane Rana. You know what I mean? Like I need to see some craziness.
Well, he hit Jacob Fatu with a poison Rana at the fucking Royal Rumble. It's basically a Hurricane Rana, but from the back of the head.
Let's go, baby.
I was like, and he hasn't done it since. I'm like, what the fuck was that move, bro?
I need to see Jey Uso do a Mexican destroyer. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta see it.
Hell yeah.
All day, baby. All day. Oh, man. I need to see
Imagine if, like, they just recreated the ending of Sammy versus Gunther from last year, but with Jay. Hits a brain buster.
Yeah. I mean, that would be cool as fuck, but I want them to recreate it and they're Gunther to kick out.
Oh, yeah.
That would be peak because then it's like,
swerve people.
Yeah, he's a lot tougher than he was. Right. I'd see that, and then Gunther wins because fuck it, he's gonna hit 3 power bombs on him. Bam, bam, bam. You know.
Yeah.
Make sure he's down for the count.
I really feel like they're gonna go with the safe option, but I've already said Jay. You know, I think Jey Uso has earned more than earned a world title shot,
of course,
and a world title run. But I feel like in the match itself against Gunther, he needs to earn that victory.
I hear you.
Because Jay beating Gunther is a big deal. He needs to earn that victory.
That's real.
Like that. That's like real. If they had this match.
Yeah, then he has to earn it. Yeah. Hey, yo, call the audible, bitch.
Yeah.
That's the only way. That is the only way. All good, boss?
I'm good.
All right. Next up on the list, we got Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. How are we feeling about this one, man? We got some decent, what's the word, build up so far. I've seen Tiffany Stratton get absolutely reamed by Flair. That was funny. What's the word? I don't like that there's like basically no build up in the ring. You know?
Yeah.
A little bit, right? But after that, not too much, you know. So how are we feeling?
This is one of those matches where on paper, I'm excited for it because, I mean, it's Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. But I don't think the build-up's been very good. I'm not excited for this one at all. It's just Charlotte doing her Charlotte thing and burying talent.
I hope not. I really hope not. She better not. She better keep running with that 39 hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? I'm just going to sound like I'm repeating myself, but it's the same deal with the World Heavyweight title in that I haven't cared about the women's title since Io Sky lost it at WrestleMania last year.
That's fair. Okay.
Because we had Bayley win. Bayley, great. I love Bayley. She's a great women's champion. And then Bayley lost it to Nia Jax. And I don't care about Nia Jax. I didn't like Nia Jax as champion. And then who beat Nia Jax?
I don't know.
It was
remember.
Tiffany. It was Tiffany.
Yeah,
Tiffany.
it was Tiffany. You're right.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like the belt I care more about the women's United States title than I care about this title right now.
Damn.
I care more about Chelsea Green and her I forget the name of her Secret Service faction that she's building.
Whatever it's called. As long as it got Piper in it, I'm all good.
That's real. I like Piper Niven a lot. But yeah, I don't know. This title is just not. I don't care about it.
I hear you. And
I love Tiffany Stratton, but it's like, I don't know. That one promo she had against Charlotte, it's like, I feel like you got exposed as like a
she
newbie.
got destroyed.
Right there.
Yeah, that whole fucking thing. I was like, my God.
I don't like Charlotte. I love Tiffany, but this feud is not showing her in a good light at all. I don't know, man.
And where it goes, no one knows. I really fucking hope that Charlotte Flair has grown up and doesn't allow, doesn't allow Tiffy to lose here. You know what I mean? I really hope that Charlotte Flair doesn't go over, because if somehow she goes over and we're subjected to the same spiel and the same bullshit and Tiffany gets knocked down the card again, like, you know, it's like, what are we doing? We got crazy good talent coming on, crazy good talent rising. And if Charlotte Flair actually wins the title at Mania, that would just feel like a slap in the face, you know?
Yeah, it would just be like, oh, great, another Charlotte win.
Oh,
who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's got to go ham with some other. If she does win, she has to go with some other veteran. You know what I mean?
But then it's like, if Tiffany wins, what the fuck do you do with Tiffany after?
Yeah.
And what do you do with Charlotte after?
Yeah, that's true. It's like, what's next? Thing is,
what's the direction for
the roster? The roster is so thick, and it's a good problem to have, but it's a problem. And if we talk about that, as in what really deserves the most screen time. You only have 4 or 5 hours a week. You know, 2.5, 3 on Raw, 2.5 or 3 on SmackDown. And so it's like 6. You have about 6 hours a week to tell these stories, and it's like, dude, there's so many of them. How do you do that? You know?
Yeah.
If it was all just promos, that's different. But you got matches too.
And with the inclusion of the women's mid-card titles, it's like, you know, again, I care more about the U.S. title than I care about this one. It's like this title has just dropped in importance for me. In terms of how they're being presented on television. Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's just, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the winner of this match, it better be Tiffany. It can't be anything else. Yeah. And when it comes to what happens after, I feel like Charlotte just retires again. And Tiffany Stratton goes on to face any kind of new contender. I mean, there are quite a few people that could go for that championship once Tiffany moves on, but who would have really good chemistry with her? Have Io and Tiffany ever had a match yet?
Closest I think they've gotten is War Games last year. They were both in the War Games match on opposite teams, but
that's a match.
We haven't had a 1v1
for sure.
Yeah, Io versus Tiffany. I think Alexa Bliss versus Tiffany would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be very good. I think that would be awesome. Build up to SummerSlam, whatnot. I'd see the hell out of that. I agree.
Liv Morgan versus Tiffany.
Yeah.
Put Tiffany in a feud with Liv Morgan, bro. That's how you get Tiffany over.
Yeah.
You put her with one of the best workers on the roster right now.
I'm telling you,
I think Liv can elevate Tiffany.
I agree
so much.
I agree. And I think right now Liv Morgan is the Chris Jericho of the women's division. I've said that once, I said it a million times.
Yeah, she's adapted so well. Yeah, that's true.
Chris Jericho could work with anybody, anytime, any place. You know what I mean? And he was just such a great talent overall. And when you needed somebody to lean on, you know, to build a story, you had Chris Jericho there to be the guy who won your Undisputed Championship, who won whatever, right? And it's the same thing with Liv. It's like whenever you need her, she's there. She's that workhorse. I feel like she's taken the mantle of a Bailey. You know what I mean? She's that workhorse, you know?
The role model.
Yeah. Watch out. But
I think I just kind of realized why I think this feud is so boring. And it's because they turned Tiffany Stratton face.
That's real.
Babyface Tiffany Stratton is boring.
Because, you know, they try to do it with Charlotte where she could be fucking face. You know, oh, I just came back. My mental health, all
She's
this.
not believable.
And everyone's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
That whole time, no one gave a shit. That whole fucking thing, they were just booing her. So it's like, they can't do it, you know? They got to do Charlotte as a heel. It's what it is. The WWE universe responded and they said, fuck that, you know? It's like the same thing with Hulk Hogan when he got booed out the stadium. It's like, they didn't expect that. You know?
It's just, babyface Tiffany Stratton is so bland.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. She does her best work as a heel. I mean, I think back to her feud with Becky Lynch for the NXT Women's title. I mean, Tiffany Stratton is great as a heel.
Yeah.
As a face, I don't see it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So it's got to be Tiffy, and I just need her to be a heel again.
You know what? What if she wins against Charlotte using a heel tactic?
I mean, sure, but at the end of the day, it's like, oh, how effective will that be at turning her heel against Charlotte? No one.
Not very effective, but I think you just have to turn Tiffany. That's the thing is they turned Tiffany face. They shouldn't have changed anything about her character. She should still be the same. She should still be the same Tiffany Stratton that she is.
Heel versus heel.
Shit talking her opponents, you know, acting like she's the best and, you know, having that sassy attitude.
Right.
Just keep her as the same character she was as a heel, but people are just going to cheer for her.
I mean, they did this shit with Rhea. Okay.
Yeah, they did. Exactly. They did it 100% with Rhea. She didn't change from when she was a heel. Just that we cheered her.
Yeah.
It's the only difference.
Like, just keep these characters consistent and the WWE universe will fall in line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, what's the word? This has definitely been a bit of a mess in terms of build up, whatnot. I did like a couple promos, right? That's why I called it decent.
Yeah.
But overall, you have to just really think about where do they go from here. And I hear you with that. But, you know, I said it once, I said it a million times. It's got to be Tiff. It can't be Charlotte. Charlotte doesn't.
Yeah.
She has some great in-ring work. You know what I mean? She's a talent. She's absolutely talented. There's no denying that. But when it comes to overall just favor with the WWE universe, she doesn't have a lot of that rapport. You know? She just doesn't. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Tiffy all the way. That's what I got. How about you?
Yep. I agree. It's pure bias, though, just because I don't like Charlotte Flair.
Peak. Next up on the list, this is a big one, cabrón. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins in a triple threat match in the main event of WrestleMania Night 1. Oh boy, how we feeling, boss? How we liking it? The goosebumps, cabrón.
I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. Three of the best guys in the company.
Yep.
Going at it.
Yep.
I mean, how can you not be excited for this match? The real question is, what's Paul Heyman going to do?
Guys, that wasn't the favor. Oh, shit.
That's People have theories, man, and the theories online are so fucking fun to hear because it gets me excited as to what they might do for the match. When realistically, nothing might change after the match.
That's what I'm thinking.
Three great guys having a good match. You know, whoever wins gets the win, and then everyone just moves on and goes about their day.
That's what I was thinking, right? But I'm going to add something to this. I thought it was just going to be a match, you know, and CM Punk's not going to cash it in. But then they made it the main event. Need I say more? It's like, there has to be, to end the night, it can't just be a clean pin, move along. It's got to be a holy fucking shit. What a night. You know what I mean? Like, so unless the match is going to be like 6 stars, you know, it really has to be something where like your jaw's on the floor come the end of the night. And
I mean, one of the theories I saw that really, really piqued my interest is Paul Heyman betrays Roman Reigns, but doesn't side with Punk. But Seth Rollins becomes a Paul Heyman guy.
Yep. All day, baby. All day.
That'd be an interesting twist.
And then CM Punk cuts a promo later. I had no idea that shit was happening. Paul did
that was not the favorite guys.
Yeah, that was not the favorite guys. Yo, all I'm saying is that would be pretty peak cinema. I mean, if anybody deserves it, it's Seth. You know what I mean? To get a boost up from Paul. Because Seth has been putting on some great promos, you know, but I can't imagine what Paul would do for him. Oh, my God. You know?
Yeah, and I think that would solidify like a heel turn officially for Seth Rollins.
Absolutely.
Because he's not really a heel. He's just angry. He's been angry since like January.
He's just angry. Yeah.
He's just angry, but he's not evil. I don't know. He did scream "die" at CM Punk at Chamber.
You know. Well, you see, that's the thing. Now we're going to have our big triple threat. They're going to kill each other in the ring. We're going to get some solid, classic fucking wrestling. And then at the end of the day, there's got to be a twist because it's the main event. And the twist that Seth Rollins becomes a Paul Heyman guy, I think that's the best. Because a lot of people think it's a binary choice. It's does Paul Heyman side with Roman or does he side with Punk?
Yeah.
And WWE don't operate like that nowadays. Like you know what I mean?
There's one more guy in the match, guys.
Yeah, exactly. They try to find a way to subvert your expectations. And in this instance, it's with Paul Heyman siding with option C. And it's gonna be a great night, but I think that's gonna be my final answer. How about you?
I would love to see it happen. Thing is, do you want Seth to win?
Seth to win the match? I mean, I would have a preference for Punk winning the match, but then again, it's like doesn't really do anything to his aura and or momentum if he loses. And when it comes to Roman Reigns winning or losing, I mean, I don't think he'll be pinned. Actually, no, I think Seth Rollins will pin Roman. What's the word? And if Roman gets pinned, I'm not sure what that would do, but I don't think his aura would be any less than what he is. He's the tribal chief.
Yeah.
Like these guys are ridiculously already established. You know what I mean? If anybody has anything to lose here, it's Seth. So I think Seth definitely does win the match and gets a pin over, I think, on Roman. That's what I think. Because it's the chapter, right? He's building a new chapter. He's writing a new chapter. If he's going to betray Roman, he's going to betray Roman all the way. You know?
Yeah.
So I think he pins him. That's my official prediction.
I mean, similarly to what we talked about with Rhea Ripley, I think the person who doesn't need the win and is least likely to win is Roman Reigns.
Real.
I mean, he's like arguably still one of the most over guys in the company, like on Cody's level. People love Roman Reigns. He doesn't need the win. He really doesn't. It's not going to add anything to his character. It's not going to do anything different for him. And then with CM Punk, you know, he's always going to be over regardless. Right. He has his fans. He had a great feud with Drew McIntyre last year. He doesn't really need the win either. Seth hasn't had a huge win in a long time. I mean, ever since Seth lost the title at WrestleMania last year, what's one really huge thing that he's had? It's nothing. Seth hasn't had anything since he lost the title.
He's been having some grudge matches, like those are really cool matches, but they're not really big bombastic fanfare kind of matches, you know?
Exactly. And so I do agree. I think Seth has the most to lose. and the most to gain in terms of winning. So I think he should win. But the only other alternative I could see is CM Punk winning. If it's not Seth, it's Punk. And Punk wins because Roman and Seth hate each other so much that they just take each other out.
Right.
That's I think what happens.
I could see that as an ulterior, what's the word? An alternate thing. I just don't see it happening, mainly because I find that less interesting. You know what I mean? You know, because at the end of the day, it's like, well, yeah, we both know that they would kill each other in this kind of match, right? But I mean, once again, if this was a second, third match into the night, that's different, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that it's the main event, it's got to be big. And that's the biggest thing I can think of that makes any kind of sense.
Yeah.
So,
and, you know, it's just a thing of this match is supposed to, I guess, conclude the rivalry between CM Punk and Seth Rollins while adding a new chapter onto the longest rivalry of all time with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. And so I do agree. I do think that if Seth wins, he pins Roman. I think that's just the way to go.
Yeah, and I mean, CM Punk can move on to other things. I mean, if John Cena wins, I'll leave it at that. We good?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Next. Next up, last but certainly not least, John.
No, I think it's least. All right, so Cody Rhodes versus John Cena anyway. Going into this match, I was fully convinced that John Cena was going to win the 17th world title. And as much as I do still want that to happen, and I do think it can happen, they turned him heel. Yeah. And that's what makes me think that Cody is going to win. Because they didn't turn John Cena heel just to have something unpredictable, right? Just to get the fans to watch. They did it because they knew that if you do face versus face, Cena versus Cody, who's the crowd going to turn on? You can't have them turning against the face of the company. You can't have them booing Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He's the champion. He's the face of the new era. You got to turn John Cena heel so the people have something to boo. That's not Cody Rhodes.
And I mean, it's worked swimmingly. Have you seen that last promo? Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, it's worked wonders.
Dude.
We've all fallen into the trap.
Yeah,
we're all cheering for Cody against John Cena.
Manipulated, just like Cena said, damn it.
Yep.
You know? Dude.
It's smart though.
It's really smart. Because let me say something right now. Cody somehow got out of a war of words with John Cena. And not only did he get out, he won. And then he hit the finisher for good effect.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that?
Let's be real though. Yeah. Cena was holding back. Let's be real.
Oh, let's be let's
be real.
What you talking about? Wait, mira cabrón, tú no sabes. Remember when he was burying talent with that golden shovel back in the 2010s? But no. All he had to say was something about Cody Rhodes' peanuts, and that would have been enough. You know what I mean? The sequel, bitch. The sequel.
Hey, Cena doesn't bury talent. He buries mediocrity.
Damn right.
I just want to correct you on that.
Because he is the talent. Damn it. Yeah. I love it.
No, it's worked wonders. You have to turn Cena heel so that we cheer for Cody. It's just... And because of that, I feel like Cody wins.
Whew, boy. And you know what?
But it's most interesting to have Cena win.
Yeah. No,
this is another 50-50 match for me, man. It can go either way, and I'm happy with either result.
Right? Like, just watching this, I'm excited. Dude, listen, I think that John Cena is going to get the upper hand to start with, just like right here. And then eventually, as things go on, Cody's going to be getting back. You know, he's going to be doing his thing. But, man... I know where you're waving towards. I know where I'm going. I think John Cena pulls this out of his ass. And the reason why I think that It's because at the end of the day, it's gonna be dirty.
Yeah,
Cody Rhodes will not lose clean. I highly doubt that. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's gonna be a thing where you know for 100% that Cody should have won, but John Cena won instead. And you know how I think they're gonna do that? Dwayne Johnson's gonna come out there. The ref's gonna try to count. And Rock's going to say, fuck you, don't count.
Like last year.
He's just going to take over the match. He's going to come out there, and when Cody Rhodes should have won, Dwayne's going to come out there and say, restart the match, you know?
Yeah.
He's going to make it Bloodline Rules, except it'll actually have a meaning. You know?
Yeah, and I do think there's a lot more storyline potential in Cody losing as well. In the sense that you can continue that Rock and Cody feud. I know The Rock said that it wouldn't end in a match. People had criticisms against that. I don't mind it. If Cody loses, it has to be the start of a downward spiral that ends with Cody going full Homelander.
Yep.
And being the biggest heel in the company.
Let's go, baby.
That's the only way you go after he loses. If he loses at Mania.
Well, the thing is, right, is that I see your point, and I would add on to it, but I would be being disingenuous if I were to continue that without saying, I think they start the downward spiral once the hero gimmick starts to lose steam, and now it has way too much fuel behind it. People love him as a face, you know.
Yeah.
So
but again. We love him because they turned Cena heel.
Yeah, no, it's like
if Cena was a face, we'd be booing Cody.
Real. It's just a thing where it's like Cody is a crazy. Just from that promo he cut, like I could tell. It's like, okay, he's a good heel. I could already tell just from that promo.
Yeah,
it's like he could cut it, you know. And
remember Dashing Cody Rhodes? He's a great heel.
Yeah. No, that's real. And so you see something. You see the fact that Cody is pushed so much further than John in that promo. Like he actually got pushed over. That's crazy. That never happens. You know. And I don't even know what the fuck is going to happen next week. That's the thing, right? Is they're going to keep you guessing. You think it's going to go one way, it's going to go the other, he's going to go the other. I think that if they keep writing John Cena like this and like, you know, humiliating him, whatever, Cody loses. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Because they're not just going to deconstruct John Cena like this on his last year and not have any payoff. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, the weird thing is, though, you know, we just had the war of words between Cody and John. John is not scheduled for any appearances until WrestleMania.
What?
He's not. At least they haven't advertised Cena at all until WrestleMania. So we could easily just not see John Cena until it's time for WrestleMania.
So, yeah, there's going to be an ace in the hole. Cena's got to win. There's an ace in the hole. If that's it, it's ace in the hole.
Because what else do you do?
Because it needs to be, they're trying to make it as unsuspecting as possible. And if they go with the thing of, oh my God, Cody's winning. Look, he hit the finisher. Like, he just hit the finisher. Oh my God, that's crazy, right? And it's like, oh my God, he buried him on the mic. He buried him in the physical performance. Oh, Cody's going to win. Clean sweep. Let's go. They are going to fucking break your heart. Y'all don't know. Listen, I played these games before. They don't fuck around, WWE. If that's how they end it, John Cena's winning 100%. Because they need to break your heart.
Yeah.
And John Cena needs to be that 17th time, maybe. Yeah. So, as far as I'm concerned, Cody's going to lose. How's he going to lose? Complete bullshit. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. It's going to be a ref thing. It's going to be a diversion, interference, fucking, just everything, right? But at the end of the day, Cody loses. Cena wins that 17th title. Where do we go from there? I have no fucking idea.
Yeah,
but
I will say this, that I just find it pretty funny with Cena cutting his heel promos. He's talked about how he's buried talent and how he's been Super Cena and he's the last real world champion. Yeah, he's been like the last real world champion and he's going to take the belt home and never come back. My guy, you haven't won a singles match since 2018.
Bruh. Real?
Is he gonna beat Cody? Due to bullshit, yes, probably.
Bro's a goofball. He's gonna win though.
Yeah.
He's gonna win. He's gotta win.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you legitimize this
so
final
excited,
run?
though.
You know, I am extremely excited. I think it's going to be okay. You know, I think John Cena is going to show up for this match too. I think so. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I think we're getting 2015 to 2017 John Cena in the ring again.
Yeah, he's just gonna go fucking ham. You know what I mean? He's gonna try his damnedest. He's gonna say, "I ain't retired, bitch. I'm on it." You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be so fucking cool. And then you look at Cody Rhodes, and you just think how much he's gonna carry John. You know, it's like. Man, it's gonna be such a crazy good match, and I'm on that boat where it's like I have no idea where it's gonna go, but if I had to bet, if I was a betting man, it's Cena, and that's not biased. That's me thinking if I've seen a WWE match before, I know where this one heads, and that's Cena winning the belt. That's my legal opinion.
Yeah, that's it. And I mean. WrestleMania 40 ended on like the highest high you could possibly have.
Yeah.
To counteract that, Cody loses.
It's got to be. It's the only way. If Cody loses that belt, oh my God. First of all, I'm going to hate the fucking comments afterward. Cody never really had a real run. Look at him. Now he's lost against John Cena. I'm going to see that shit. Be like, what the fuck? Got these fat slobs in their basements, bro. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? You remember Scott Steiner? I hate fat asses. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Now, when it comes to... Go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say already.
When it comes to...
Like, I had a thought, and it disappeared before I even opened my mouth.
That happens. Real. I think, at the end of the day, John Cena wins. I also want to point out all I'm saying is it looks like John Cena and CM Punk's schedules are going to open up at the same time. So
I think if we get Cena Punk, I want it at Money in the Bank. Run it back. Like they did in 2011.
I want Cena versus someone at Backlash, and then Money in the Bank Punk. And then, I don't know, maybe Punk wins it, and then Cena wins it back, or maybe not wins it back. Maybe, Cena winning it would make a lot of sense, because Cena retaining it, right, at Money in the Bank, and then he recreates the moment. I would see that.
Yeah, he goes through the crowd.
Yeah. It's like, oh, look what happened. That'd be cool. Eventually Cody does come back. Maybe he comes back at Money in the Bank. He blows the kiss, and then you hear the music play. Oh, he's back. Yeah. That's it. And then is it SummerSlam afterwards? Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
or it would be like Clash at the Castle or something before SummerSlam.
Right.
Because Money in the Bank is usually like May, June. And then SummerSlam's like late August.
Well, I think the rematch should definitely be SummerSlam, Cody versus John. So however
Cody's seen it too.
Right. So however they schedule that, right? But I think that Cody beats John at SummerSlam, and then John Cena. What's the word? Maybe he has a few more matches. I don't know what. I know he would like. His goal would be like, okay, I need a farewell match now, right? And then that farewell match would be the last PLE at Elimination Chamber, and then whoever he goes up against. We had this conversation before. Orton. Yeah, we had this conversation before, and Randy's the guy. He has to be. Just a solid retirement match. Nah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I had a friend of mine ask me, it's like, oh, do you think Cena's going to retire as a face? And I was like, yeah, of course. He's not going to be a heel the entire run. Even if he turns face in that last match, he's going to retire as a face. And then my friend was like, oh, how can they turn him from a heel to a face in less than a year? Are you going to boo John Cena during his last match?
Yeah, like, fuck off. It has to happen.
Yeah, come on. The crowd is going to turn him face.
Well, what's going to happen is he's going to lose to Cody, and then he's going to come up to the ring and cut a promo where he apologizes, basically. He's going to, and not apologizes in like, oh, I'm so sorry. He's going to apologize in like, I took this position for granted,
Yeah.
something along those lines, right? And then eventually it'll lead to him having that final match, and that final match would be him versus Randy. I don't even think Randy's going to be a hell of a heel. You know what I mean? I just think it's going to be sportsmanlike, So we'll see.
We'll see. They're cooking, though.
I would love there to be a stipulation, though, where it's like, oh, if I win, I told you this before, where it's like, I'm going to retire anyway, but if I win, you retire too. Like I want to see John Cena retire Randy somehow. What the fuck? Wait.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm getting old now, right? Like, damn, 2 at 1? No, wait. It's too much.
And does Cena win this match?
Hey, yo, hold on. Wait a minute.
He's gotta.
1, 2, 3. I got run. They call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things. Oh,
the prophecy is true.
Yeah. Ooh, this spooky, scary. Oh boy. Cena's got to win. That's it. In conclusion, this is looking to be an absolute classic of a WrestleMania with a solid stacked card, with great matches, with some seriously decent build up, and some matches with great fucking build up. I couldn't be more excited for WrestleMania besides WrestleMania 40. Anything else?
No, that's all. I do have a topic that is not related to this, though.
Go ahead.
That I do want to kind of poke your brain about. So I saw a tweet the other day. I don't know. I don't have the original tweet anymore, but it said, "Who is the best in-ring performer of these 4 wrestlers?" And the pictures were Triple H, Randy Orton, John Cena, and Batista.
H.
I agree.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Batista's really good and very energetic, very explosive, but he needs someone to dictate the pace. When it comes to John Cena, he's a really solid wrestler overall. But when it comes to innovation, he didn't really do that until his really later years.
Yeah, the U.S. Open Challenge.
Right. And really, he did that to contend with the new guys because these guys were ridiculously good, right?
Yeah.
So
AJ Styles.
John Cena will rise to the occasion, but he's not the benchmark. Randy Orton's a really strong performer overall, but his pacing could leave something to desire. He's usually very slow in terms of pace. But he's a very
safe worker, though.
Yeah, very safe worker overall. But I'd have to say the best worker is definitely Triple H. Just because his portfolio is as long as 12 of my arms. That guy is ridiculously experienced. I've seen him in fast-paced. I've seen him in shoot matches. I've seen him in extreme. I've seen him he's done it all. That guy has done it all, and he's excelled at it. When he hits a category of match, he either dominates it or is one of the best at it. All right? That guy, he's the cerebral assassin. He's the fucking king of kings. He's the this, that, this. So he's one of the best. The only, you know what I mean? I'm telling you right now, he had to compete with someone like Shawn fucking Michaels in terms of in-ring performance and mic work and whatnot, because he was next to him every week, and he managed to stand out. You know what I mean? So as far as I'm concerned, you look at those other guys, they're wonderful. Don't get me wrong, but if I had to choose one, Triple H came from a way harder area that molded him into a much finer stone overall.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at when Triple H was rising into the main event scene, he was the heel against Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. He had to compete with that.
Yeah.
On a weekly basis. That was his benchmark. And those are 2 of the greatest of all time.
Yep. I mean, it's literally that. If you want to compare the two, there was no comparison,
Yeah.
Now, if we were to throw in a Shawn Michaels or something like that, it's okay, well, Shawn. Throw in an Undertaker. It's
easy.
Okay, Undertaker. Yeah. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But if we're comparing those 4, definitely H. Shadow of a doubt.
If you had to rank those 4, because Triple H would be number 1
overall, or just in-ring performers?
In ring specifically.
Least, I'd hate to say it, Batista.
Yeah, I was about to say Batista.
You know, like
I love Batista though.
He's
But,
really
yeah.
fucking strong, but that's the thing. He clearly needs someone to dictate the pace and be willing to take those big bumps. You know what I mean? He can't lead a match. You know what I mean? Not like, well, I'm sure he's capable, but he can't lead a match like those other guys can. And then you have Randy versus John. I feel like Randy is more physically talented. Like he's just great at what he does.
I mean, the thing about Randy is in-ring storytelling is his forte.
Right.
He can tell a story in the ring, but he's not doing crazy bumps. He's not doing crazy moves. And he doesn't need to because it's not his character. It's not who he is.
But I can't.
But he can tell a story.
But I'll tell you right now, the amount of boring John Cena matches I've seen in the past, you know, like just boring.
Five
like,
Moves of Doom, AA.
Yeah. You know, so like if I had to say in-ring performer, I'd say Batista, John Cena, Randy, and Triple H. That's what I think. Triple H Randy studied directly under H, so that makes a lot of sense. You know?
Yeah, so did Batista.
Well, he had a different move set. Yeah, different. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't as close to Triple H in terms of what was capable of. Yeah.
Yeah, very different.
But, you know, because Batista had a wheelhouse. He was the powerhouse. You know what I mean? And so he used that. And, hey, it got him the fuck over because he was a fucking animal. You know what I mean? So, and he used that. And I don't blame him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if he had Randy's build, you know what I mean, then he would be wrestling a lot different. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. He used what was given to him. He was a really massive fucking guy. So he used that. And he did it a lot better than a lot of other guys who were massive, you know what I mean? Because he had ridiculous speed and quickness, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the other three are even in the same league as Triple H.
No,
but I just thought that question was interesting.
Yeah. No, I
it's
think
like,
it's
you know, when you think of those wrestlers, you don't think in-ring.
Yeah, you think like overall. You think aura. You think, yeah.
The character, the promos.
A lot. Dude, I still remember when Kevin Owens' music hit. You know what I mean? It's like when I was at the show and I heard that it's like the equivalent of how I would feel if Batista's theme music hit. You know what I mean? It's like, oh shit! You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's like cocaine ingested through your ears.
You know what I mean? That's testosterone directed, just injected straight into my cock. It's awesome. You know?